Hey, welcome to 1,000 Movies Before You Die. Here's one more you definitely have to see before you die. This is Preston Sturges' Palm Beach Story from 1942, starring Joel McCrea, Claudette Colbert, and Mary Astor, as well as some of my favorite Sturges players, William Demarest, Robert Grieg, Jimmy Conlon, right? They show up in quite a few of his movies. And this one is just a hilarious comedy, um, kind of a road movie, guess a love story, but just great rapid fire dialogue with that's typical of Sturgis. This is one that he wrote and directed. The story basically is a couple, Joel McCrea and Claudette Colbert. They are a married couple. They're broke, down on their luck. He is trying to get a business project off the ground, I guess an engineering project. Some looks really harebrained with suspended airport above the city. It's basically held up by wires, right? And the planes are able to land on some sort of a net meshing. Looks absurd. He needs the money for it. They're broke. They can't pay their bills. In the process of, subletting their apartment, their landlord is showing their apartment. They can't pay the rent to this old couple, and the old couple is looking at the apartment, and the old man is going through. So he's the weenie king, and he's played by Robert Dudley, and he's one of the funniest parts of this movie. This old rich guy who's made all his money through selling weenies, and he basically finds out that they're broke and that they're like him and his wife are looking at renting this apartment. I guess he feels bad, and he gives Claudette Colbert all this money. She's in the apartment while they're looking at it, and basically gives her a wad of cash. And just the kindness of his heart. He's basically got money to burn, and he wants to help these people. And he's sick of his wife, and she loves the apartment, so it's kind of to stick his finger in her eye. And so Claudette Colbert is able to pay all the bills, and then she decides that now she's going to divorce Joel McCrea because she's tired of them being broke, and she sort of frames it as her holding him back. It turns out she's had a lot of opportunities to get him the money for his project through her, I guess, wily female ways, using her long legs, etc. And he doesn't want any of this. He's too noble, and she's like, your nobility has held you back, and I'm holding you back, and so she's going to go off and find a rich man. Her secret plan is to get the money from this rich man to help him, her husband, Joel McCrea, build this airport in the sky. And this is sort of how it starts. He wants none of this. He wants to stay with her, and she decides that no, she is going to go seek this divorce. It's not quite clear if she really wants the divorce or if she's just doing it to help him. So she sets off across country. She takes a train where she runs into the Ale and Quail Club, which is basically a bunch of drunken hunters who rent the entire back of the train out. They got their dogs. They're shooting out windows. They basically helped her get onto the train. She gets away from them. And these are just, this is where some of the, best actors are showing up here. This is, William Demarest, Robert Grieg, Jimmy Conlon. They show up a lot in Sturgis movies, sometimes called the Sturgis players. And they're hilarious as these crazy drunken hunters who basically at one point are hunting her through the train with their hunting dogs, just making all this noise. And so to get away from them, she goes into sort of one of the second class or third class sleeping berths, which is sort of, you just have a little curtain in front of you and they're two-tiered. And to get up on the second tier, she basically steps on the face of a man who's sleeping in the bottom berth. Turns out, the actor is Rudy Valley, and he's playing J.D. Hackensacker III. He's super rich, one of the richest men in the world, but he's sort of traveling incognito on trains. He loves traveling on trains. He says it's un-American to have your own train car, which he totally could have. He's so rich. So basically, she meets him. At the same time, Joel McCrea, who wants none of this separation or divorce, has run into the same weenie guy, the same rich old man who's given him a lot of money to go find his wife. he's flying to meet the train. I think it's on its way to Florida. I think it's going to Palm Beach. And instead, she gets off the train, she gets on a yacht, and so it's the movie is about him chasing her. She's hooked up with this Hackensacker rich guy. He has a sister. She's played by Mary Astor, and she's I think three times divorced or and twice annulled, and she's like a real sort of man hunter, and she sort of falls for Joel McCrea. So that's what's set up here. It's sort of a love square, I guess, with these four people, and it's just packed with Sturgis's hilarious wit, rapid fire dialogue. Joel McCrea and Sturges have this isn't their first rodeo. Maybe it is there. I don't know, but anyway, Sullivan's Travels is probably their most famous collaboration, and that's fantastic. This definitely in there, one of the top three Sturges movies to watch. Palm Beach Story, 1942. Highly recommend it. Got to see it before you die.